Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. So today we're going to have a look at a little arrangement that I've done for the James Bond theme. So let me play you the parts and then we'll get into it. So the first part is... Second part... Then we've got... So, really cool little figure to play. This is good. This is one of those great things that if somebody goes, "Oh, you've been playing guitar for ages, play as a tune," you can play that and everybody kind of goes, "Oh, wow." You know? There's a lot of guitar marketing around that kind of thing, and it is something that it's a genuine fear that a lot of guitarists have. So that's a bit of something that you can do for that. Right, before we get into the lesson, you can get a free PDF of all the tabs all together on one side of A4 from the Kirklees Guitar School Facebook group. Completely free to join. Not trying to sell you anything. It's just the best place to catch me. I'm on Facebook the most, and also there's the other. It's the best place to catch me if you've got a question. So first link in the description if you want to download the PDF that goes along with this lesson. Right, let's get into it. So this is the first bit. Now, in the films, when you see him in the intro, and it's all very mysterious, and there's a figure moving around in the shadows, and you see the strobe kind of moving around, that's what this part is. So I want you to bear this in mind when you're playing it. It wants to sound sneaky. So you see how the fretted notes I'm playing with a bit of vibrato. Now this is what's called a pedal tone, which means every other note I'm going back to the same note, which in this case happens to be the low E string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the low E. All the low E's are going to be done with a downstroke, and then I'm going to play fret 2, fret 3 and fret 4, then back to fret 3 with index, middle, ring, index. Sorry, index, middle, ring, middle. My mistake. And it's really important, don't do this. We want this. So 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 3. And you see the repeat markers? And the times 4? We're going to play these two bars 4 times before we move on to the next section. Then the next part is... Did you hear how much better it sounded when I moved my plectrum from this side of the pickup to this side? I think it's worth mentioning, you can do this on both acoustic and electric guitar. You don't have to play this with an electric guitar, but I do suggest you play this by the bridge just for this bar, because it will sound a lot better for this section of the piece. So it's all on the low E string, and you're going to play a zero with a downstroke, and then you're going to play alternately picked 4 twos. Dun, 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 dun. Followed by 3 zeros, which again is all alternate pick. Down, up, down, up, down, up. That first bar. And then the second bar follows the same rhythm, but then we just change the notes slightly. So you're going to start with a 0, and instead of going to 2 this time, you're going to go to fret 3, and then finish on the 2. And we're going to do this twice. Now would be a good time to pause if you want to get that under your fingers. If not, let's have a look at the bit that ends that section of the song, which is... So that is 2nd fret on the D with a downstroke, followed by the open D string with an upstroke. Then I'm moving up to the A string and I'm going to do the same thing, 2nd fret open, but then I'm going to return to the 2nd fret with a downstroke. And can you see, I call these washing lines. It's called a tie. What this means is you're going to play this note and you're going to sustain it, you're going to hold on to the note and let it ring out So much so that it bleeds over into the next bar. This doesn't mean that you have to you pluck the note a second time. You pluck this note and you just hold on to it. Watch really closely. You hear how I didn't pick it a second time, I just hung on to it, okay? So that's really important. Now would be a good time, if you go to the Facebook group and get the tab, you could practice all three in situ. If you're comfortable with all that so far, let's have a look at the next bit. So this is the where the big sort of brass part comes in. It's all on the high E string, and these funny little like 7-looking things are called quaver rests. So what this means is we're going to pluck those first 2 high E's, and then either with the left or the right hand, I'm not bothered which, you're going to stop the string from ringing momentarily before you carry on. You see how now I'd probably do this with my picking hand if I wasn't under the microscope, but I think it's a lot easier if I do it over here for you to see. You hear how you can hear the reverb from the amp sort of trail off a little bit, but the note's definitely been sort of killed, yeah? Following that, we've got O2, O2, and I'm using the index finger for that. And notice how I'm muting that again. Watch this hand here. Now how I'm doing that is I'm resting either the bit of the flesh from my thumb or the plectrum on the string to stop it from ringing. Moving into the second bar, I'm going to take the second finger with a down and an up stroke, another rest. It's the same rhythm, it's just the notes are slightly different. We're going to do this twice before moving on. Finally, we've got octaves on the E. So with a down and an up stroke, I'm going to play the second fret on the D string, and then I'm going to hit a big fat E chord, E string with the open low E string. We're going to do that twice. Following that, we're going to play five notes on the second fret of the D with down and ups. Da 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 da. Right, this next bit looks really scary, but it's actually really straightforward. Sometimes in tabs we stand the notes on top of each other to, and that's how we display a chord. So all these are to be played at the same time. Now, like most things with guitar, just break it down into smaller chunks if it seems a bit overwhelming. So let's start at the high E string and work our way backwards, okay? So we're going to start with high E string, then with your index finger, I'd like you to press the 7th fret of the B string, then I'd like you with your middle finger to press the 8th fret of the G, and then ring finger, I'd like you to play the 9th fret of the D. And what we're going to do, we're going to strum from the D string downwards. Now this is called the Bond chord. It has a really kind of like cool, mysterious kind of vibe to it. Let's do that again. Open E, 7, 8, 9 on the B, G and D strings. And then once all those are in situ, we're going to strum from the D string downwards to get that sound. Now if you've got a tremolo or a whammy bar, give it a little waggle, but that's not necessary, it's only there. But what I do is be very, very gentle with it. If you do, it's going to sound ridiculous if you're too aggressive with it. It's just you want more like a warble than a dive. Cool. So, just a reminder, you can get a full free PDF for that on Facebook. Follow the links, completely free, and that might serve as a good companion to this lesson. This can be done on both acoustic or electric guitar. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're playing it on. I've just opted for the Jazzmaster with my Boss Katana on clean with plenty of reverb because I'm kind of going for that 60s kind of surf thing at the minute. I'm really enjoying this guitar for that kind of stuff. Let me know what you thought about today's lesson in the comments, and I will see you next week for another guitar lesson. See you soon, guys. Thank you.